fine.
Welcome back. This is Weeknights. I'm JD, aka He Who Pods, aka
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Keep it going. Not used to you doing more than one.
I switch it up, you know what I mean? Aka I'm only here so I don't get far.
All right. You know what? And I am Dash, aka Dashing D, aka the real king of R&B, aka
Think about it.
I don't remember. Cool Grandma, but not really.
Oh shit. Nigga said stop. Think about it.
Hey, aka aka where I want to be because I don't have a location. I just go where I go.
That's funny. Where I wanna be. All right, Donnell Jones.
Just left my
Nigga
baby
says
girl a message.
so much.
You just don't treat them bad.
That's mad.
Okay, well, listen, we don't got much to talk about today, so let's
All
get
right, y'all.
this
So
show on
thanks
the
for being
road.
here. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. You know?
Peace out.
All right, let's pod, man. Let's stop playing around before
It's
they get
fine.
upset.
They get upset. It don't matter what we do. But anyway, so
Sick of our foolishness.
yeah. They be pissed off with us sometimes. It's
They're
fine.
like, hurry up and get to the topics. Y'all play
Right.
too much.
Right.
12
no
AKAs and then y'all
banter.
want jokes.
Don't act like you like each other. Just
Right. What are you,
know.
friends?
Dudes really be thinking you get paid. Like, they really be thinking like you get a paycheck to
You know what I'm
entertain them.
saying?
Have you paid me?
Right. You see a Spotify logo somewhere?
Right.
Barstool or
Right.
something up
Do you
here?
do you need our P.O. box? Like, do you
Right.
need to know where to send the check?
Right. Cash App.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
you
You
know,
know?
you know who might have to send a check?
Tell me, who might send the check?
Drake.
Not Drizzy.
Drake.
Drake.
Oh, wait. Okay, so this is good because we didn't have topics, and now I just thought of something. Speaking of Soulja Boy is not happy about a potential TikTok ban.
Yeah, I saw he's tweeting about it.
He said, "Now what? Now what? Now they doing?" Listen, if anybody should be the spokesperson for the social media wave coming down and going up in flames, it should be Soulja Boy. You don't think so? I think Soulja Boy is the perfect poster child for pro social reform
Tell me why.
because Soulja Boy is the guy who made Superman popular, among many other things. But I think that the reason Soulja Boy is so important is because social media was rising when he was. And so he was very much involved in that wave. It only makes sense that our spokesperson, the person to step forward and speak for the rest of us, would be Soulja Boy. I see it. I see it. Maybe y'all don't. Maybe you don't see the vision, but I see the vision.
Let
Let
me take off my glasses. Let
if
me see if I can see it without my glasses.
if somebody needs to speak out against losing TikTok, it's gotta be Soulja Boy. Imagine if this happened to
Still,
Instagram
I
or
still can't
Twitter.
see it. Maybe I put my glasses half on. Let me
Oh,
see.
stop it. No, I just thought this was funny. You know.
Nah, I still don't see it.
Oh, all right. Enough. Enough. No, I just thought it was funny because most of the time when Soulja Boy comes out and says something, he says it in a very comical way. So I saw that he was talking about this, and I said, That makes sense to me.
Yes, it's true that Soulja Boy was the first artist signed from the internet back in the MySpace days.
Yeah,
First artist to get an internet a deal because of the internet,
yeah.
because of excuse moi, because of MySpace specifically.
Hmm.
Uh, but today,
I mean,
today,
it's different today, but I do think he's relevant
today,
to.
I don't.
I do think he's relevant to how we got here, right? I think that like he be looking at me sometimes like I'm not following.
I tell you, I can't see the vision. You know, maybe if
Because
I
of
go put my contacts on.
because of all right, because of what you just said, I think
But go
he's
ahead.
relevant to the conversation. I think when you think about the people who were the original creators, the people who were really at the forefront of the connected world we know now, he was one of them. He was very important to the culture. Now, he may not be everybody's cup of tea. You may not want to Superman that hoe, or hop about the bed and turn put your swag on. But the point is, Soldier Boy, Soldier Boy is an icon in his own right. Okay, don't take that away from that man.
No doubt about that.
Do not take that away from that man. Now, what he will do today, I don't know. I just thought it was funny, so I brought it up.
No, he is. He's a legend in his own right. He is an icon. I don't think you could take either one of those things away from him. His resume is his resume.
Hmm.
That ain't got shit to do with TikTok though. You know what I'm saying? So
I
no, I
know.
don't think he needs to represent any of us on this possible TikTok ban. I think Soulja Boy need to go tell himself a couple things.
All right, you killed my joke.
Oh, my bad. Let me put the other glasses on. Where they at?
Boring. JD showed up to the pod today.
What? I resent that.
Well, I said it already. Take it back. So,
Listen,
what we were
I think
going
I think there could be better spokespeople. You know what I'm saying? Like
like who? Give me somebody.
for
Who?
TikTok.
Yeah, yes, for TikTok.
I mean, who's a big Gary V? You know, he's a big creator over there. Uh,
I,
trying to think
I
who's
mean,
big
from the
on
culture
TikTok.
though. Gary V's not really.
Oh, you right. Tyrese? No.
You won't let me have Soldier Boy, but you want to put Tyrese's name in the hat? What? Nah,
Oh man,
nah.
that would be
I
hilarious.
ain't with it. I ain't with it. Should it be Kanye? Kanye would
No,
lead
no,
the
no,
Twitter would lead the Twitter ban. He would lead the charge to. No, I'm asking. I mean, I'm saying. I don't
no,
know.
not Kanye. I think it should be somebody young with an understanding of what is going on over there on TikTok. Someone who's been there since the early days. What they call them early adapters,
Uh-huh.
right? So we will have to figure out who was an early adapter
You think it should be Shiggy?
on TikTok. Is Shiggy part of the culture? I kind of see Shiggy a lot as the butt of jokes. I don't know
I
if
don't know
that's
because I know Shiggy from him dancing to Drake, and I know people know him outside of
right.
that, but that's how I found out about him.
No, that's how most people found out about him. Uh, Lord,
What
I
is
didn't get my
going?
coffee, y'all. I didn't have the
What
coffee.
is
I'm sorry.
happening
No coffee
here?
today.
Oh
No,
my
no coffee.
goodness, we're gonna make this a short pod. Don't you worry.
You're right, and it's been long enough. Y'all have a good night. We will see
Good
y'all
night.
tomorrow.
We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Friday
Oh,
nights
I
are
don't
gonna
have
be
an
my Friday
iPhone.
night.
Sorry. See y'all Friday night. Nah.
Deuces.
I don't know because honestly, I was late to TikTok. I know this is jokes, but if we had to choose a representative, I would have to see whose name is on the ballot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't cast a
You
vote to
can't nominate
nobody because
anybody.
I can't nominate anybody. I was not early to TikTok, you know, so I
Hmm.
can't really tell you who was over there getting busy.
Well,
Excuse me.
y'all put it in the comments. Y'all tell us who should represent the culture if somebody needs to testify, if somebody needs to give a written statement,
Oh Lord,
if they're
written statement. Their publicist get to write it.
yes, if
Okay.
somebody needs to speak at the press
Ooh,
conference to represent us so that we can save TikTok, y'all tell us who it should be.
there you go. Now, speaking of early adapters,
Where we going? Which way we going?
you know, I mean, I thought that segue would tell you, but since it didn't, let me tell you. You know, uh, is
Drake.
Drake is an early adapter of AI. They're saying all of the Kendrick AI fake disses are Drake. They're saying that before this tailor-made freestyle, the records that were allegedly Drake responding were AI. And as you know, in the tailor-made freestyle, Drake uses a Tupac filter, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know what to call it
he
just yet.
uses Tupac's voice.
He uses what sounds like is an effect that makes you sound like Tupac.
Right, which is essentially what people are doing with AI these days. There's all types of programs where you can create music with voices of people who, already exist
Right. So the
or have
record
existed.
has right. So the record has an AI verse. It has a verse of AI Tupac, followed by a verse of AI Snoop Dogg,
Mm-hmm.
which sounds much better filter wise. Like the Snoop sounded way more like Snoop than the Pac voice.
Well, that's probably because you could find recent audio of Snoop, which is probably sharper. Sharper is probably not the word, but which is probably better, crisper than audio from Tupac. That's probably a lot older.
Right. And I wonder is Tupac's brother mad because
Possible.
Drake didn't say enemies? Come on, man, you got an enemies, Hennessy's niggas. You know what I'm saying? Um, come on. Even when Dave Chappelle did the fake Tupac joint, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He said, "On my enemies." You know what I mean? So anyway, Tupac's estate has sent a cease and desist to Drake, which is interesting because also, if you've been on the internet seeing these things, you probably also know Drake released the non AI version as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find the version where it's just Drake rapping uh, the verses without the filters or effects, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think this is interesting. I think this sparks a very interesting conversation about the usage of AI.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we know that last year, I think it was, maybe the year before. I'm pretty sure it was last year. There was an AI song going around of Drake and The Weeknd, and their people put a stop to the song. Um, and even though the people in, I guess, who created the song were trying to get it like into Grammy nominations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there's a lot of AI conversations. We speak about AI up here a lot. We just spoke about Will I Am and AI the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, this is interesting because it kind of puts you down a rabbit hole, no pun intended. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Uh, but because the question is okay, so we know that there is no longer, you can no longer use AI in certain ways, right? And there's a push already for legislation to be put in place
Mm-hmm.
for AI.
Right.
But when it's labels and big artists using AI,
Mm-hmm.
it raises new questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Snoop responded, but not really. When the record first came out, Taylor Made Freestyle, there was a video
Mm-hmm.
of Snoop acting like he just woke up. He was, acting like he was sleepy. He's rubbing his eyes. He's like, yeah, I just woke up, y'all. Y'all saying something happened. What happened? I don't know. Did something happen? Huh. I don't know what y'all are even talking about. And then he goes like this, and he pans to a jacket he has on with the Death Row logo. And then he goes, I'm gonna go back to sleep, y'all. Y'all have a good night. And so it was kind of a cosign, kind of him saying I'm unbothered,
Yeah.
which is fine. But what happens when someone is bothered, right? What happens when
Mm-hmm.
someone says, I'm not really digging that, even though another artist did it? Tailor Made Freestyle is not at this moment on the moment we're recording this, is not on
Mm-hmm.
any streaming platforms, neither version.
Mm-hmm.
But it begs the question: what happens if Drake wanted to put not this project, this song out with the AI filters?
Doesn't sound like he can.
Right. And so I'm curious what the new process will be. I'm curious, will the legislative push also involve legislation that says things about this part of the AI usage?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see a lot more legal, not jargon.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see a lot more legal conversations
Yeah.
surrounding AI, the use of AI, and I think they're going to have to put some restrictions on what can happen with AI, because if you
Mm-hmm.
don't, uh, there's nothing that stops uh, AI artists from being popular. The usage of other people's, uh, I can't even say work because it's your voice or whatever, but the oh, AI use of people's likeness,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if that's the case, I could have, an AI Tupac album. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Um,
not according to his estate.
right. And Tupac, absolutely. That was the first name that came to mind since we were talking about it. But, I could go do a Brooklyn's Born album with me and Biggie. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And, I might have a feature from Jay-Z up there too. Who knows? Um, and so I think it's an interesting conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Just in the fact that this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard the Tupac and Snoop Dogg verses up there, I was really curious what was going to happen moving forward, because I don't know what's up with Tupac's estate. I know it exists, obviously, but I do know Snoop Dogg is alive and well. So I was surprised when Snoop did the jokey joke thing,
Mm-hmm.
especially because he has a relationship with Kendrick. He's, a West Coast guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And so him making a joke and staying out of it is fine, but I don't think every artist is going to do that. I don't think every estate is going to do that.
No.
As we see with Tupac's estate. Tupac's estate is saying we don't want this happening. Um
I kind of understand it though, because if you think about it, Tupac's death is very controversial. Just the whole story around Tupac's death, and the fact that his voice was used by a well-known artist in the middle of a rap beef, knowing how he was killed or knowing how, like, what was happening at the time of his death, it's a little weird. I think if I was if I was a family member or someone who was close to them, I'd think it was in poor taste also. I never I never I didn't make that connection until now, but as we're speaking about it, I'm like, yeah, it's a little like maybe in the grand scheme of things when you're thinking about creating art, that's not the at the forefront of your mind. But I could totally see someone who's connected to him in an important way being like, that's kind of like, don't involve him in a rap beef when
Yeah.
that's the past, like the past that is connected to him and his death. It just it just seems kind of weird when you think about it, if you really
Yeah.
really think about that. And again, I'm not saying that, I don't know that Drake made that connection or gave much thought to it or anything like that. Probably didn't.
Right.
But
Probably not.
when you really sit down and think about it, it's like, I kind of see why. I mean, they didn't say that's why, but I
Right.
could see that being a cause of like, keep his name, keep his
Keep
voice.
my wife's name.
Right. I could totally see that being an area of contention.
Yeah.
So,
So I have the statement here from Tupac's estate.
okay.
It says the estate is deeply dismayed and disappointed by your unauthorized use of Tupac's voice and personality,
Mhm.
King wrote in a letter. Not only is the record a flagrant violation of Tupac's publicity and the estate's legal rights,
Mhm.
it is also a blatant abuse of the legacy of one of the greatest hip hop artists of all time. The estate would never have given its approval for this use. It's hard to believe that Tupac's record label's intellectual property was not scraped to create the fake Tupac AI on the record, King wrote before demanding that Drake also provide, quote, a detailed explanation for how the sound alike was created and the persons or company that created it, including all recordings and other data, are scrapped or used.
Oh, they said we want to know everything.
Yes, the opposite of Mario Winans.
I
They
don't
said, I do want to
wanna
know.
know.
Right. They said we want to know everything. In fact,
Keep it on the low.
you know what I'm saying? My
'Cause
man
my
was in the
heart
tub
can't
with all
take
his
it
clothes on.
anymore.
That's the one thing I remember about that video the most.
Please
He
don't
was in the
let it.
tub, fully clothed like this.
I remember that. And then they were outside. He was outside of a house, just singing,
Supposed
bopping
to be
his
her
head.
house.
But yeah, I'm
And I
curious
think
to see
that's
how this
interesting
ends.
too.
Huh?
Oh, go ahead.
I
No,
was
no,
gonna,
you first.
I was gonna say I'm curious to see how this ends. Like I said, I get it. Um, I think that is deeper than the superficiality that we're seeing connected to this beef. I think it's a lot deeper than that. And you gotta listen, when you're talking about people who have passed on, you have to be a bit more sensitive. And I understand, again, I totally understand, this is hip hop. Drake is just doing what Drake does. But sometimes you do what you do and there are consequences to it. So, you know, curious to
I
see
agree.
how this plays out. Because like you said, it's out there. And it's not like they could gather up all the iterations of it at this point, or everything that's come out, or every time it's been shared, or whatever it is. It's not like they could do that. So it's out there, and it will continue to be out there. But I'm curious to see. I mean, maybe Drake negotiates something with his estate. I don't know. You never know.
I don't think so based on that verbiage.
I don't
And I
think so
think it's really
either.
smart. And I think it's really smart that they're saying, like, we want to know how this was even done because
Right.
we would never allow some shit like this.
Right.
And I think that's where the real nooks and crannies are.
Hmm.
Because if you can learn how it was done, you might be able to stop it from happening again.
Right. The only reason I say that they might that you know he might be able to work something out with them is because he is one of the biggest stars in the world, and they have a way of getting their way sometimes. So I don't know. You never know. But yeah, I'm okay with the stance they've taken. If that's if they feel like it's not honoring his legacy, then that's their right. So you know,
I agree. Speaking of legacies,
yeah,
Viola Davis and her husband, Julius Tenen.
love them.
Yes,
Yeah, they're a nice couple. They
agreed.
take baths together.
I didn't know that, but all
She
right.
said it. Somebody asked her, "How do you keep your marriage? Like, how do you maintain your marriage?" And she was like, "We bathe together."
All right.
I kid you
Um,
not. She said we bathe together. I want to say she said we bathe together every day, and I was like, "Girl, you don't want a private shower? Something? You
um,
always in the bath with that man? Well, you know what? Good for you. Let me go find me a man who wants to bathe with me every day."
good luck to the both of you. Um,
All right,
Viola
serious time.
Davis and her husband, Julius Tenen, they have launched a book publishing company, furthering their legacy, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And it
absolutely.
says the aim is to uplift overlooked voices. So this post here says Viola Davis and Julius Tenen, her husband of 20 years, are adding another business under their belt. JVL Media, a book publishing company. The company's mission is to provide a platform. Oh, I thought he was about to say something. The company's mission is to provide a platform for marginalized groups. They've enlisted the expertise of publisher, author, and editor LaVale Levette. Yeah. Their lineup includes both nonfiction and fiction books,
Mhm.
starting with Had to Lose to Win, the Tiki Davis story by Tiki Davis,
Okay.
followed by The Inclusion Leader Genius by Dr. John Battle. It says, quote, this endeavor embodies our collective aspiration to champion and elevate voices
Mhm.
that resonate with authenticity and are often overlooked. Viola Davis said in a statement obtained by The Hollywood Reporter.
Hmm. I love that. Listen, one thing Viola Davis is going to do is have her hand in multiple things. And I
As
love
she should.
that. And I love that they do it
Uh,
together. I think that's amazing. And like you said, building legacy, but also building wealth. Um, yes, we know she's
yes.
she's she's a big movie star, but I think that that's important too. Like they're building their businesses, they're working together, and I dig that. I like that. Um, and I think anything that Viola Davis does at least warrants us to check it out. I said that
Absolutely.
before. I mean, we know she's got anime coming, she's now got the publishing company. We know that she's got movies on lock too. And I think it's really cool the way she tries to tell stories of people whose stories haven't been told or like it said, have been overlooked. That's what she sought to do with Woman King and did a phenomenal job with it. So
Yes.
I can only think that good things will come of this publishing endeavor for them because she's definitely she definitely has her hand on the pulse when it comes to creating that sort of content. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Same.
Books to add to my library, always a good thing.
Yeah. I think this is dope. I feel like I got to sneeze.
Me too. Freaking hate allergy season.
Word. Um, yeah, I think this is a dope move.
Mm,
And I think it's very clear. The two of them are putting their money where their mouths are, right? We know about their production company, as you referenced.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Woman King was one of the first things that we knew of out of that production house.
Mm-hmm.
Now, shortly after that, we heard about Black Anime and their involvement in bringing Black anime to the big screens or to the mainstream.
And
And
we not
now,
talking about Tina Turner. Eat the cake, anime.
oh, you're silly. That's I don't think that's anime, but that is a different anime. Uh,
Ooh,
and
I'm
and
funny.
now with the books, right? I assume that it will not only be books; it'll probably also be audio books as well, which is why it's saying it's a media company. So my point is, they are clearly making an effort to put Black stories and put Black voices uh, out there,
Yeah.
to put a spotlight on us,
Mm-hmm.
on people of melanated descent, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I
Mm-hmm.
think that we just opening mail right now. That's what's hot in the streets.
Is that what you think? I'm not opening mail. I was actually trying to write. I'm. Thank you for putting me on blast. I've been sitting here for the longest trying to find a piece of paper so that I could write out our description. And finally, I said, well, let me go in my wallet and see if I could write it on the back of a receipt.
Yo, I
I
thought
didn't
you
know
was
you were going to
opening
hear
mail
it.
right now. I was like,
Please.
son, I know you on location today. You know
I,
what I'm saying? But the mail could have waited 2 more minutes
and
for us to finish the
don't tell
pod.
no
You know what I'm
lies. I
saying?
don't live here. I'm not opening anybody's mail.
I didn't. I said mail. I
I
didn't say
was
whose mail.
I was literally just wanted to write out our description because I always forget when we're done.
So funny.
I did not know you were going to hear that. My bad. Please continue. I'm done.
So funny. Um. Anyway, yeah, I just think it's cool that they're highlighting Black voices, um, pushing out Black content, Black stories,
Mm-hmm.
highlighting Black voices. I think this is a beautiful thing. And I think, unlike a lot of other people who might talk a lot of shit about, yeah, I'm trying to get more of us on the big screen, we trying to create paid diversity. We see it. We see what they're doing. They are creating tangible things, and really pushing their agenda forward, which is a lot of our agendas, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a beautiful thing. I think we need more of this, and
Yes.
I love the way they operate as a power couple.
I love
Honestly,
it
this
too.
that don't got shit to do with what they just did right now, but I love the fact that, like you said, they do things together. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just him making one move and her making a separate move. They move in
They
tandem
moving
a lot of
together. Yeah.
times. You know what I mean? They be on their ludicrous. When I move, you move.
Yeah.
Just like that.
I love that.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think we also need more of that too. I think I would love to see other big couples doing this type of stuff, because we need it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is how you create the foundation for the next generation. This is how you begin having equity and diversity conversations, when you say, hey, we're doing what we could do to uplift our community. And I think they're making a very clear effort to do that. And I appreciate them for that, and I want to support them for that. So, I've seen Woman King a bunch of times. Um, I would definitely be watching the anime with my daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and purchasing some of these books, or audio books. I'm curious to see how it goes, and see what else they come out with. Shit, I might try to see if I could get a book over there. You know what I'm saying? I got some books I could. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
they got a little coin for your boy, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Do it. Listen,
So
I'm always here for anything Viola Davis does. So I'm excited about it. And like you said, I think she's telling Black stories. She's prioritizing us. Um very much so like Regina King does. You know, I feel like I feel like there's a few of them, right? Like Issa Rae. Like there's not a few, but there are people who are like that is the goal, and the goal is clear. Because you know, there's also people who do it, but they dabble in other things. But there are people in the industry who are very much committed to that specific goal and
Yes.
continue to as they find more success, it becomes even clearer that
Yeah.
that is the vision, that is the goal. And Viola Davis is one of those people who makes it abundantly clear. Like, I'm here to tell our stories. Yes, I was in all y'all's movies and TV shows and things, but at the end of the day, what I want to do, what is important to me, is telling Black stories. So I love that. I appreciate that very much. Um, so yeah, I mean, I like that we ended on such a positive note today, and I even took the description.
Describe to them how this ends.
So that is your Thursday night show, and we will see you tomorrow. Let's hope
Adios.
Friday is happy.
Oh, I'm about to say, let's hope. Damn. But let's hope Friday's happy. Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's hope so.
You know, maybe I'll show up not just because I don't want to get fined. You know,
I'm dumb and you're tired because today is
it's
Wednesday
Wednesday.
and tomorrow is
As
not
you
Friday.
as you said it, I was like, oh, but wait. Good night.
See y'all on Thursday.